Hello and welcome to this week's Ascension Energy update for this week of August 21st. So, sacred space is up. And it's not what you think. So, first, the energy, when I turned on and tuned in into this energy of the week, it's igniting and dissolving. And it's about leadership in sacred space and how to hold that and what it means. So it's fiery, it's activating energy, and it doesn't need to be contained. But it does need boundaries and it does need intention. And that takes awareness. Ooh, mostly about where you planted and where are you coming from. So it's about that intentionality. You know what I mean? So I pulled a card, of course, right? Love the Oracle. And this is called a Grand Symphony. It's from Colette Baron Reid's Oracle of the Seven Energies. And I want to read this to you. Glasses, of course. Okay. As human beings, we have a tendency to see ourselves as separate from others. This perception is the root of the cosmic joke played on all of us. Although our five senses and intellect can help us manage our experiences in the material world, and intuition helps us navigate the invisible, we still struggle with the issue of identity and how we fit into the whole. You're facing a paradox today, this week. You need to focus on being your unique self, for only you can bring your own special harmony to the symphony of the world. But equally, you need to learn to be selfless and put we before me, seeing yourself as part of the consciousness that unifies us all. So, synchronistic, of course, right? As usual. So, gotta love the magic. Let me ask you a question. How's the weather? Where are you in the world, in the country? How's the weather? Drop it to me in the comments. I might rattle a few feathers here, but I'm not afraid. Talk about accelerated ascension. Look at the turbulence, the increased onset of the elements in the world. How about just where you live? Unpredictable weather patterns, changing what was norm, right? The seasons all mixed up. Somewhat anyway, and getting more and more. Yeah, climate change. Now, it doesn't matter if you believe in climate change or not. That's not my thing. I personally do, but I also tune into that. And there's plenty of you that do. And thank goodness, because we are the light workers, the ones that are activating change. Yeah, thank you. To help the earth, not to survive. She doesn't need our help, but to help ourselves. And that means helping humanity, whether you are intending that or not. You're a part of humanity. So we're all a part of, right? So what you're doing for yourself, you're doing for the others when you're holding this sacred space. That is what holding sacred space means. It's intentional. So you can apply this to any situation, not just climate change, right? There are humans supporting, healing, loving other humans because they're holding sacred space. Not everyone is self-aware of this, but you're still doing it. with intention, imagine the impact. Imagine the shift. Imagine what you can do within yourself, right? Wow. And everyone can do this. Not everyone does. Yeah. And I know you know what I'm talking about. I know you see it in your own worlds because it's everywhere. So when we hold sacred space, it is for everyone in the container. Be intentional, right? Be aware. Know your own self. A good CEO is holding space for the entire company. Now, not every CEO is prepared or ready or aware that they're holding this big container. It's not in their scope, that this is an energetic, even spiritual container. Most CEOs or bosses or powers at be can do better, right? So can we. They can learn about how to bring the spirit of their business into awareness. Then sacred space can be held. So this is the message. This is what we can do for our small containers and the larger ones, and have impact and influence on others. A circle facilitator, for example, holds space for everyone in the circle. When starting out, they're messy. I was years ago, and having to learn to stretch the sacred space within themselves to embrace and ground everyone in the container, while also holding the space for the channel to open just the right amount, right? Just the right amount, so no one goes whoop out of their body, and can stay here in themselves and get the healing or activation or teaching for themselves. I'm holding sacred space right now for you. I prepared. I'm intentional with this video. Oh, yeah, these boundaries are learned, remembered, and practiced. Imagine a circle, like a stone circle under your feet. The diameter is a little bit wider, larger than your body on the ground. And imagine creating a tube, like 3Ding the perimeter of the circle stone, 3Ding it and raising it up energetically, bringing it all up around you, creating this tube, right? And this tube doesn't just stay vertical and stiff. It's not like, it's not like a tube in a science lab. It's an energetic, it moves, it morphs with you, right? When you stretch out, when you go like this, when you walk, run, exercise, whenever you're moving, your tube goes with you. This is your personal space. Every step you take when in your sacred space consciousness is deepening the connection wherever you're stepping or being and within you, right? This is your divine presence on the planet. With awareness, you can really navigate a lot differently than when you're not being conscious, when we're not being conscious. So this is you holding your personal sacred space when you are aware of your connection to Big Mama below and your spirit team above, all within you. Holds this container while allowing an additional space to grow beyond, out from your tube. Okay, you still have your tube, but stretch it, like there's another layer, and allow your awareness to hold that bigger circle, meaning just allow that bigger tube and the connection to widen to and connect to Big Mama and to the open channel above. Just the right amount with your intention. Okay, it really is that simple. It's even that easy, right? In concept, anyway, conceptually. In practice, your awareness is key. And you're going to know what I'm talking about. I know you know what I'm talking about because you've already experienced overwhelm, taking on other people's energies from the container, people that are in your space, right? Well, if your container is bigger, there's a lot more others in your space. So it takes practice and awareness and intention so that you can clear your own tube, right? When you're done, your own tube, your the tube of you tube. Oh dear. Okay, back. Okay. So your tube is your sacred space. The bigger tube that you are holding with others in it is also sacred space. Their individual sacred spaces are within this larger container. So when you are in a relationship, you're in a sacred space with another. This is the realm of the heart, right? And you may experience it, especially in loss of a relationship, death, and loss of somebody taking up that space that you were used to having on the planet in that space. That's when the awareness really can be identified clearly. And when another human that you are in relationship leaves the planet, there's someone missing from the container. That space that another held becomes an absence, a void. And we get used to holding certain containers unconsciously, right? Habitually, even when we're not in relationship with them anymore, or they're not here anymore. And you're still holding the space, the connection, like with a past lover, with friends, family members and relationships, pets. And then there's the whole holding on of trauma and situations and past experiences. So awareness in your container is huge and can help you navigate so much more easily on the planet in your own life. Oh, when you learn how to clear your tube. I usually call it clearing your bubble. You definitely have heard me say this if you're in some kind of connection with me in work, or even personally. So this is where we take on cords. We hold outdated soul contracts. This is what we begin with when you do work with me. From the beginning, in every single reading, in every single program, from a single reading to a 6-month initiation program, in my memberships where I do hold a bigger container of everybody in there. So see how much you matter, see how much you influence and can change a situation by being aware and intentional with your sacred space. See how much impactful energy you hold. Yeah. What are some other ways that you hold sacred space and can with more intention for you to ignite more awareness, more love, more harmony in the way that you manifest, the way that you want to attract your soul match to you, perhaps versus the way you used to and attracted the same old soulmate pattern all the time, right? So in your business, notice the impact you can make and have in your manifesting and in the world on the bigger level. Earth guardians, hear me now. You are all a sacred space. The circles that we energetically cast and the tools that we use, like wands and crystals, sound healing, even smudging, is a sacred tool that reminds us to be in sacred space. The tools aren't the sacred space, and we aren't creating sacred space. Those tools are helping us to be, reminding us to be in sacred space, because you are already here. You're already the sacred vessel. You are already sacred. It's remembering and being intentional. Key. Your body is the sacred vessel, the sacred space. You are holding space no matter what. So what do you do with it? It's up to you. It's up to you. How are you bridging the worlds within you with an awareness practice? Are you? Do you have a practice to help you hold this space, clear this space so you can hold more? Or are you not really doing anything intentional like that? No judgment, not even any pressure, just awareness. With intention, focus, and boundaries. Yeah, intentional focus, boundaries, knowing how to regulate your own sacred space, your own tube. You then can hold a much bigger container. It takes practice. This is how to intentionally become a leader in your personal life and in your professional relationships, in your family unit, in your spiritual circles and containers of all sizes. Potent. Can be a lot of work if you choose not to be intentional. That's when we get into the ick. That's when our bubble, that's when our tube needs to be flushed. The more that you hold that way, the more that you just take it on and are unconscious about how you are using your influence, that can turn into work. But ease and flow happens when you have an intentional, focused practice. Hit me up if you're interested. I like to help anybody, but especially you badass women, to hold space your way, what aligns with your purpose and soul blueprint. How do you most accelerate and clearly influence your path, your manifesting, your relationships, your leadership? Yeah, we can all be more intentional and bridging the divide. This is a great way to begin and continue on with, no matter where you go, what you do. This is a great way. Remember, community is evolution. So like the card said, right? You are an instrument in the symphony. You matter. So community, you're a part of it. Until next time, every Monday right here, remember to subscribe so that you get the notification of these videos every Monday right here. Peace out, loves.